I'll never slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Somebody asked me to do a bunch of a story about some of the bad things that happen to people in prison, and I've told some of these stories before, but I'm going to just put them all into one video, and I ain't going to tell all of them because I got a strike for telling one of them, and sometimes YouTube will just tell me you can't have this one. So anyway, one of the first ones took place at the Missouri State Penitentiary. A guy snitched on somebody, and because they took his canteen. Then he went around and he knew he's going to get into it. Came down to the chow hall, had a lock in the sock, and he's looking for help. Nobody said they was going to side with him, and then all these people jumped him. He got a couple of them with that lock in the sock. Really, he should have had it in a laundry bag, so you know socks tend to tear and the locks come out and stuff, but that's beside the point. He got a couple of them before they got him, and but they got him good, you know. Then there was the guy in Potosi. Now this guy lived next door to me. I got along with you know, I talked to the guy that lived next door to me. His cellie I didn't never talk to. I thought he was a little creepy. And I told him that. I said, man, your cellie's a little creepy, man. You know, he has that look. He might have bad paperwork. And he goes, you think so? I said, man, he has that look. He said, you can't judge somebody off their look. You can't, really. But in prison, these type of people generally all have the same look. So anyway, I don't know if he asked him about his paperwork or whatever, but I do know a week or two later, I hear yelling, and I hear banging, and I mean, you can tell there's a fight going on. It wasn't really a fight. His cellie was getting his butt kicked, that's what it was, and bad. I don't know. Dude hit the panic button, because in Potosi it has these buttons that you can push. It says you need help, or the guards just heard it because it was loud. Anyway, they came up there, they opened the cell door, they bring him out. As they're cuffing him and other guards are in there looking at this other guy, he turns to me because I'm at the door. He says, man, he said, you was right, man. So my cellie said, I heard him say, he goes, I'm the only one that has a TV in there. My cellie says, I hear him up, he's on the top bunk, said I hear him say, oh, stop teasing me, you little bee. And he goes, I was watching this TV show, but this commercial came on, Pampers commercial. He said, so I looked up there, and he's going to town, doing the hand thing, and he said, I just snapped. Take him to the hole. They come up, they bring medical over. Medical takes this guy out on a stretcher. I never did see that guy again, so I don't know what happened to him. But I'm assuming that he lived, because the guy went to the hole for a little bit, he was back out. I mean, you know, it wasn't like he was down there for a long time. If he got a charge, then he wouldn't have been back out. And yes, I know sometimes the guards will let people out that do that to those type of people. I won't keep them in the hole very long. But I don't think he had, I don't think he deleted the guy, you know. I think in the last video I told about the guy who used a stinger, tied his cellie up, and put the stinger where the sun don't shine. But I seen an old man use a stinger. I didn't see it, but this is what happened. This guy had been in prison a long time. He was kind of a middle-aged guy when I got to prison. A good dude, but by the time this happened, he was an old man. And they put a young guy in his cell, and the young guy was thinking just because he was old that he had one of those, he had bad paperwork. You know, he had messed up charges. It wasn't the case. And I guess he keeps going on by himself. His cellie doesn't say nothing about it. A lot of us didn't know this was going on. Young guy slept in the top bunk. I guess he's pushing the guy, old man, around and stuff, the old convict. The guy waits till he gets up there in his bunk and goes to sleep. And uses the stinger as a weapon. Puts it around him, drops his whole weight down. We hear banging. That didn't have a panic button. That prison didn't have panic buttons in the cell. We hear banging. We go to the door. Took a while for the guards to get there. And when the guards came here, all I hear was them saying, "Get this dude out of my cell." And so they open the cell door. They go in there. Next thing you know, they're cuffing him. They take him away. And it was only later that we all learned what happened, you know, after he spent 6 months or so in the hole. But that just goes to show, man, don't underestimate people in prison. Never underestimate people in prison, man. And that's what this young guy was doing. And he just assumed because of the way he looked that he had bad paperwork. I have assumed by the people, the way somebody looked, that they didn't have bad paperwork. You know, they looked like everybody else, you know. They didn't wear glasses. They worked out. You know, some of them had tattoos. This one in particular that I'm thinking about, I never would have thought he had a bad charge, but he did. You know, and sometimes they may come into prison with one charge. You know them and they ain't got a bad charge, and they get out and they come back and they got a bad charge. Why would you even, you know? So this is some of the bad things that happen. You know, I've seen, like this was at the walls again. Dude had a bowl of, it was another young dude. But this dude was being intimidated, you know, pressed by this older guy, and he was kind of afraid of him. He didn't want to fight him or nothing. Afraid of fighting him. So took some, this is when we could have baby oil. Took baby oil and water and boiled it. And I happened to be walking behind him as he's carrying this bowl and threw it on the guy. I will never forget that, man. That is something that does not leave you. I ain't going to describe how it looked and everything because, you know, YouTube will... You guys pretty well know what boiling hot water and oil will do to you. And people says, I've told this story before, and people say, well, I've heard this story before, because it happens before. You've heard stories about stabbings before too, and that happens everywhere. Now the thing with the baby oil and the water is not as common as shanks and stuff, but it's still used, and it's even used less nowadays because they took, at least in Missouri, because they took the baby oil out. So, I can't remember who requested this, but I hope this was what you was looking for, and I'm sorry I couldn't tell the real bad ones. You know, those were bad enough, but especially that last one. But if you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. And I thank you for watching.